This episode of WisBusiness.com, the show, is brought to you by BMO Harris, White Hirschbeck Dudek, Madison Gas and Electric, and the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Hi, I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show, on site at the Early Stage Symposium at Madison's Monona Terrace. On today's show, Tom Still talks about the prospects for a venture capital bill in Wisconsin. And Internet Hall of Fame's Larry Landweber talks about what's next for the net. First, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for late November. Rising health technology. Two state healthcare pioneers announced lucrative developments. First, a report shows the Medical College of Wisconsin starting talks with other Milwaukee area health leaders, Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, Friedert Hospital, and the Blood Center of Wisconsin, about the development of a public-private effort to expand DNA sequencing to more patients. Then, Madison-based Cellular Dynamics International announces a contract worth up to $7 million over 3 years to provide stem cells and tissue cells to the National Institutes of Health Center for Regenerative Medicine. And falling, Oshkosh Corporation, the Fox Valley vehicle manufacturer, says it saw an increased quarterly profit, affirmed projections for earnings increases in the next couple of years, and rejected an inadequate and opportunistic takeover bid by stockholder and billionaire investor Carl Icahn. But that news is overshadowed by hundreds of job losses announced just a day earlier. The layoff, set to take effect in January, will reduce its overall Oshkosh workforce from 4,500 to 4,000. Company officials attribute the decision to reduce spending by the federal defense departments as the wars in the Middle East draw toward a close. Tom Still is next with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
The election's over. The state legislature is preparing to return for its January 2013 session. And for the first time in more than a year, prospects for an early stage capital bill are looking good. What would such a bill accomplish? Well, it's all about company creation. That's the goal for legislators and others who have taken a look at various angel and venture capital plans across the country with the goal of putting Wisconsin in the game of having a fund of funds approach to create and fund more companies. As was evidenced at the Wisconsin Early Stage Symposium, there are a number of good companies in Wisconsin. They have the right leadership, the right technology, the right business plans. All that's missing right now is enough angel and venture capital to get them over the hump. With the state budget coming back into balance, there's an opportunity to create a state-leveraged early stage capital fund that would help bring private capital off the sidelines and put it into the game here in Wisconsin. It's an opportunity to renew the debate about angel and venture capital and how that would be matched with state resources to attract both capital within the state and outside Wisconsin. A number of stakeholders have met in recent months to pull together the broad outline of a plan that could become a part of the state budget or be used as a separate bill to come before the legislature early next year. What might such a plan include? As of the latest discussions, about $200 million in 6 years could be invested from the state side, which would be matched by $400 million in private capital. Such a fund would be privately managed. It's called a fund of funds because a number of funds would be invited to participate with a private manager overlooking those portfolios. It would likely be part of the state budget, which is a $66 billion bill that moves forward every 2 years and contains most major state policy initiatives as well as budget and fiscal items. We won't know all the details until early 2013. That's when Governor Scott Walker will put the finishing touches on the next state budget, and the legislature will return to consider that budget. But for now, the stars are aligned. Some kind of angel and venture capital bill is likely to pass in the next session of the legislature. We don't really know the size yet, but we do know its purpose: company creation in Wisconsin.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Larry Landweber, Internet Hall of Famer.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Larry Landweber, Internet Hall of Fame charter member. Thanks for joining us, Larry.
Thank you.
You've seen the internet develop virtually from the beginning. Was it always obvious that it would work?
Well, I think it was after about 20 years. the internet was developed in 1973. In the early 90s, it was obvious. There were lots of commercial competitors. There were other technologies. It started out being at universities, and it really was the World Wide Web and the beginning of commercial ISPs that led the internet to becoming a utility for people outside of academia. And it was at that point that it was obvious it was going to be a success.
And how important was public-private collaboration to the success of the internet?
Oh, absolutely critical. Right from day one, everything we did involved a partnership between the university, government, and industry. The government paid for the research. Industry donated equipment and people support and ideas, and we worked collaboratively on every single project that I did. And in fact, without that collaboration of the three parties, the internet would not have become a success.
What's next for the net? What are the dangers and the opportunities?
So the internet is already over 40 years old, and so I think it's time to reevaluate and look at what the internet provides, what its weaknesses are. The major glaring weakness is the lack of security because the protocols and the technology were not designed to support security. And so because of that, my view is that we have to do a fundamental look at the technologies, the underlying technologies, with a view towards trying to evaluate what might come next. And in particular, software-defined networks is one potential new technology.
Thanks, Larry, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by BMO Harris Bank, White Hirschbeck Dudek, MG&E, and UW Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent Foot Executive Search. See you next time.